Welcome back. We'll try to discuss the exploitation phase. In that exploitation phase, we are going to talking about the Metasploit. So in the Metasploit framework on the Kali Linux, we use the MSF console. So this MSF console is used to enable the MSF Metasploit framework console. So to run this, in order to use the Metasploit, one need to have the targets. So the target must be identified first. And once the target is identified, second step, find out the vulnerabilities on the target system. And third, use those vulnerabilities in the Metasploit to find out the exploit or select any exploit. Then a payload needs to be picked out for that exploit, and finally the exploit itself must be launched on the target system. So to give the demonstration this for step by step, here I'm going to use the for four different systems. One is Kali, another one is Metasploitable, and the another operating system is the Windows, which is running at different 192.168.1.13. I have another window which I am running the which is on 192.168.1.11. So to check it out, this you can find out the on the Kali Linux. You may use the command that the net discovery. The net discover. Oh, sorry, must have the sudo privilege, administrative privilege. So by running this, it will give you what are the different the devices which are running on this particular network. So I have running three different devices. One is 192.168.1.9. Another one is at 192.168.1.11. Another one is 192.168.1.2. So these two are window PCs, and this one is the Metasploit PC. And to check it out, uh, to find out the configuration of by entering the configuration, it is giving us the my system IP address is 192.168.1.5. So in the previous that there are three systems which are running. So to identify the vulnerabilities on these target systems, so we one should run the nmap command, nmap, and try to scan the the ports which are open or closed on the target machine. So let me just use the sudo command. Okay, sudo for first machine, that is 192.168.1.1, and let me run another nmap for scanning the. Okay, let me use the nmap. The minus s, use the sign portal for another machine with doing that is 11 on Windows machine. So it requires this sudo. Okay, Kali, and in the next one, yeah. So this machine is identified the some of the ports which are running on these, that is 192.168.1.9. In that the port FTP port is service is running on port number 21, SSH is running on port number 22, telnet is running on port number 23, and SMTP service is running on port number 25, and so and so. So it scans all the common 1,000 closed ports, and it checks whether those ports are open or not. Similarly, to go and check for the another machine which is running on 192.168.1.11, that is the Windows Machine 2, which is running on 192.168.1.1, and the Metasploit is this machine is running at 192.168.1.9. So similarly, to get the vulnerability of another device, that by just using the sudo nmap scan for the another target machine is 13 to check it out. Is there any vulnerability? Or what are the ports are running over there? So once you identify, the what are the ports are running on them. So here you can see these ports are, the running. The MSRPC is running on port number 135, and another machine. Similarly, for the second Windows machine, that is the 192.168.1.11. So once you identified the targets, the next you need to find out their vulnerabilities. Is there any vulnerabilities are there or not? So to check it out, to find is there any vulnerabilities on this particular operating system, Windows XP, which is running on Oracle VirtualBox. The MAC address is given here. So we should run that nmap and give the script vulnerability on this particular the target machine, that is 11. So by just entering, try to scan its vulnerability. Similarly, we'll try to scan the vulnerability of uh, uh, the target, that is 192.168.1.9. So try to scan it by using the nmap script, or you can you may use another vulnerability scanning tool, that is the NSSD. But here we just use this tool to scan, and similarly we'll try to find out the vulnerability of the another sorry mm, third one. Okay, so it find the vulnerabilities on this 192.168.1.1 Windows machine by, these are the open ports, and the host script, the nmap script engine results is giving that it is vulnerable. So there is one vulnerable patch is missing. So because of this, the Microsoft Windows system vulnerable to remote code execution. For remote code execution, the power cells are used to execute these remote codes and target system. And it also identified another vulnerability, that the SMB, uh, the vulnerability is MS17010. That is that vulnerable. Because of that vulnerability, it can run the remote code execution vulnerability in the Microsoft SMB1 server, which is, and it also gives the critical remote code execution vulnerability exists in this Microsoft SMB1. So similarly, here you can see that this vulnerability is likely vulnerable, and the ID is given that the common vulnerabilities and exposure ID is 20084250. And the server services in this Microsoft Windows is Service Pack 4, Service Pack 2, Service Pack 3, and servers which are running on the Service Pack 2003 Service Pack 1 and 2. So to check the vulnerability on this particular system, Windows operating system, if you start scanning that, the nmap script vulnerability scanning on target system is suppose 13, it starts scanning them. So now you have the information about your targets, and their vulnerabilities. So the very next step is, we need to exploit, and that must be selected. So to exploit that, as here I will try to work on this system, operating system that is running on 192.168.1.1. So for that, the Windows, we just use the we try to use the Metasploit framework. So by just giving that MSF console, it takes around 5 to 10 seconds to load this MSF console. Here you are finding that there are 2,407 exploits are there, and 1,236 auxiliary the ports are there, 242 the posts are there, and 1,468 payloads, and 47 encoders, and 11 no operations are there, and 9 aviations are there. So what is there? So to go with the vulnerability which is identified on the operating system, suppose on this machine, that 192.168.1.11. Okay, so the vulnerability here, it is given that you know it is having the high risk factor, this vulnerability. So you try to search this CVE in the command prompt. Okay, let me just go to the second one. It's still scanning. Okay, so okay, so let me use this. I'll try to search the database which is the given for this, the CEV 2007, to identify or exploit, to select the exploit. It is giving the exploits module, that the exploit Windows SMB MS 1701 interpretable, and the vulnerability which is having is, it is going to execute the remote code execution is there. So remote Windows code execution. So we try to exploit, use this particular exploit module. So for that, we simply, it either you can, copy this or type this entire exploit name, or you can use the its index also. So by just using the index, let us use the index 10, so which takes you to load that particular exploit. Once exploit is selected, then a payload needs to be picked up. So here, it is giving that no payload is configured earlier. So by default, it is taking the Windows interpreter TCP payload is taken. So in Windows interpreter, that is the interpreter module that takes that is trying to establish a connection between the target system and the attacker system by the in the reverse TCP, because this module force the target to establish a connection. So once it is selected, the by default payload is selected, then you can go through and you just check the options. For that, you type the show options. So in this show options, it will give you the complete details about this particular module. So the module option which is running in this Metasploit framework is the exploit Windows SMB, where the MS17010 is a missing patch. So then for that, in the module options, it is given the name is that the DB GT race is current setting is false and required is yes. That means it show the extra debug trace info, so we don't want to go with that. And how many times to try to leak the transaction, it is required yes, and that is set to 99. And it is given that the the named pipe which is given, the required is no, there is no need to set. So the name pipe that can be connected to is required. Any the any current settings are required, means there is no settings are there. And for password cracking, the list of nmap pipes to check the password, it use the user shared Metasploit framework. In the data, the word list, the named pipeline is used. So here the remote host is required. So it is set yes, but not at set the remote host port. And remote host port is running the port number 44Y for the target port service, where it can listen to the target port, right? And as you know that, when we scanned the this machine, there you can see that this port is opened for this. Yeah. So let me set the to check it out for this machine. Okay. For 11, for this 11 machine, the port number 445 is open. That is Microsoft Direct Cell connection establishment is possible. So then we'll try to, set that option, that use this set remote hosts with the 192.168.1.11. When it's set, it is better to check the options again, whether everything is set or not. So the remote host is identified with 192.168.1.1 and running on port number 45. And the local host is our attacker's machine 192.168.1.5 and listening on port number 4444. And when it is exploiting the target may be, anything. You can check the the target options also. So if you go for what is your target mission, so if you type this, the target, it will give all the options that, what are the different targets. Oh, okay. Yeah. So in this targets option, it will give either it can you can select the automatic or PowerShell or native upload or MOF upload. So different options will be there, but we'll go with the by default the automatic one. Then we'll try to run this or try to exploit this on the target machine. So when it starts running that, they started the reverse TCP handler on this attacker's machine and trying to connect with the 192.168.1.11, which is running on 445. Okay. So the connection is refused because the connection was refused by the remote host. If there are any firewalls or anything is there, then the connection will be refused. So if we set the remote host, okay, if you set the remote host like 192.168.1.13 and start running for another target machine, it will start going running and see, here you can see that the 192.168.1.13 is running the TCP, the target Windows operating system. Target is running the operating system is Windows, and the filing the barrel with the fish. So there it is trying to prepare the successfully leaked transactions are there on this particular SMB missing service, and it built the connection. So the session is established here. The session is established. So once the session is established, you are entering into the Metasploit. So this Metasploit is the another what you call the important tool inside this the MSF console. So in this Metasploit, what is the meaning of that? So the Metapreter has many great features that are built in by default, because that is the another reason why this Metapreter is used. That means the Metapreter is a powerful and flexible tool that you will need to learn to control if you are going to master the art of Metasploit. So the meta interpreter or Metapreter is a payload available in Metasploit that gives attackers a powerful command cell that can be used to interact with their target. So another big advantage of the Metapreter is the fact that it runs entirely in memory and never utilize the hard drive. So this tactic provides a layer of stealthy that helps it evade many antivirus systems and confounds some forensic tools. So the Metapreter function in a manner similar to the Windows command line or the Linux bin sh command. So once this is installed on the victim machine, so how to check it out? If you try pwd, you can find that this is running, the Metapreter is running on target machine on Windows, in the drive C drive Windows system 32. So that means the Metapreter is installed on the target machine. So once installed on the victim machine or target machine, it allows the attackers to interact with the executive commands on the target as if the attacker was sitting at the local machine. So the Metapreter will run with the privileges associated with the program that was exploited. So the Metapreter have many great features that are built in by default. So if you check the help command, you can find all the great features on this Metapreter. So see that the commands, the core commands, which helps that, by just giving the question mark, you can find it gives the help menu, and the background command which runs the backgrounds, the current session, and you can use the bg, like, alias for your background command. And there are, interestingly, you can create you can detach the Metapreter session by issuing the command detach, or you can close the channel. So it is just like act like a what you call the Linux terminal type. So you can use here, in this you can use the load command, or the upload or download command. This load command, one or more Metapreter extensions will be there, right? So this machine, if you want the machine ID, get the MSF Metasploit framework ID of the machine. So here, this the another useful function is the cat function, which is cat command that can be used to display the local file contents on the screen. So this is useful for reviewing various files on the target, the cat command. And one more important one is the migrate command. So this migrate command is one of the very interesting command in this. So the Metapreter serves to another process is important in case the vulnerable service you attacked is set down or stopped. So like that, you can use the read command to read the data from the channel. You can use the secure command. So there are various commands that are is going to be used, or you can use the command, that use command. So similarly, there are file system commands are there, as said, that the cat command that read the content of file in the screen, or the system file commands like change the directory, or checksum that retrieve the checksum of a file, copy a source file to the destination. You can delete the specified file, you can do the dir, you can download the file or directory from your attacker machine to your target machine. You can edit those files, you can get the local working directory, that print the local working directory, or get the print working directories. So it gives a lot of commands for your different creation of your files and directories like that. Suppose if I want to create any file, we may use the direct make directory Raj Kumar, so which works similar to the files which are now there in the which is used in the Linux command. For example, our current working directory is Windows 32 system. In that, if you go and check in this Windows, let me go to the window, in computer target machine computer, in the third, in the Windows directory, it goes to system 32 directory and check whether the Rajkumar folder is created or not. So we have created the directory, so which is the directory is created here similar. So similarly, you can use the upload command or download command on your, the Metropreter. So this is the another useful. So this is the download command allows you to pull a file or directory from your target machine. The upload command, you may use the upload command, or you may use the download command to, for upload. You can, from your attacker's machine, you can upload any file into that system one. So another beauty is the edit command can be used to make changes. You can use the edit command to edit any of the file, or can be used to make changes to a simple file system, or you may use the command, the execute command. So this execute command can be used to issue a command and have it run on the remote machine, where the kill command, if you use the kill command, that can be used to stop the process. So there are various options that you can find the system command files. You can use all these, the system file system commands. Similarly, you're having the networking, the commands like ARP, that displays the host ARP. The host, if you type the ARP, it gives the host. Who is the host? It is giving this 192.168.1.3 is one host where your machine is running, the target machine which is running on that particular host. And it gives the interface which is using there is the Intel Pro. The server adapter is used for packet scheduler multipoint, and you're running the our host machine. Another target machine which is running is 192.168.1.1, that is Metasploit machine. 192.168.1.5 is the attacker's machine. So you can issue these commands, to check the local files. Suppose, if you want to check what is the IP configure, you may use the command like ifconfigure, which is similarly working. So it gives that the IP address is 192.168.1.13. It's running, and so some of more advanced features that include the ability to extract the passwords also. So what is that feature? The password database command feature. If you give this command the hash dump, so this by issuing this hash dump command, whoever the users are there on their target machine, their password which is there in the form of hexadecimal, that will be downloaded easily. That is by giving the hash dump. By running this hash dump command, it is going to find the user is administrator, and the password is in the hexadecimal this. And here the guest user is there, guest user username, and the password is here. The help assistant user is there, the password is given in hexadecimal. So it dump all the hash values. So how this hash values is going to be helpful? By, if you know this, you just copy all these hash values, and you can use the user details, and paste these hash values and save this file on your local machine, on your local desktop. by just writing these Windows user dot txt, Windows users and their passwords dot txt. So it will create that file on your Windows on your machine, so that can be used for the next user purpose. So this is how powerful the Meterpreter is, by just using the different commands for upload and download. Suppose now we have created this hash command, right? Now we'll try to upload this uh, particular file. Let me just go and check on the desktop. Let me just close it, minimize these files. The on Windows user file is created here. Suppose if you want to upload this file, then you can use this upload and give the file location. So here, what is the file location? It is given that it is in the home file. The path of the file is home Kali desktop, and it is the file name is Windows. Let me just copy and run this on this upload, and just paste the clipboard here. In that, the file name is Windows user.txt. So, okay, let me use this, maybe copy, okay, and let me quickly run it. Something is missing there. So, on desktop, the file name is Windows user.txt. So, it's given something they uploaded. No such files or directories, etc. Oh, why this? Okay, suppose let me rename this file directory or file like a Windows rename txt home Kali Linux, copy and run it on the target. Okay, let me once again run it, whether it will work or not. So the Windows file.txt, yes. So this uploaded this particular file from home Kali Linux desktop Windows user txt file into the target machine. So where the target machine, it is working in the Windows 32, Windows directory in 32. If you go and check that whether this file is running or not, so ours is given that Windows user. So you can find the file is uploaded here. So this is the beauty of the Meterpreter. So then this Meterpreter have the ability to interact with the Ruby cell. So the ability to load and execute arbitrary DLL, that is the dynamic link library on the target, that you can easily find. You can upload any DLL file here, or you can work with any of these DLL files on the target. And the Meterpreter have the ability to remotely control the webcam and the microphones, so that you have the services here. By just checking that for webcam services, uh, yeah, so the webcam commands that you can use, they record the mic or webcam chart, webcam list, webcam snap, or the webcam stream. So different services that you can do. And for audio output commands, you may use the play command that play a waveform audio file on the target system, right? So with this, I'd like to stop the session. In the next session, we'll try to talk about the password crackers. Just now, whatever we collected the hash file, we'll try to work on the password crackers.